Hello, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Well, this summer has been hot, but for most of us, it's certainly been better than last year's record-setting drought and heat.
That said, it's been a spotty year for rainfall in some areas. This week, TWILA's Neil Melancon takes us to Grant Parish, where corn harvest has wrapped up after a tough year.
Corn harvest is winding down here in Grant Parish. At Toro Farms in Colfax, farmer Ryan Yerby is glad to see it go.
See how short this here is? It's not finished all the way to the tip. 120 or less.
Yerby said at least at first it was rainy enough.
And these seasonal rains really helped push it along through the year. But here we got to the very end. We made it through pollination well, and we got to filling kernels. We needed probably 2 more rains, and they didn't happen. So we're starting to see some yield loss from not getting those last 2 rains.
The drying up has helped harvest move along, but it really hurt the corn crop. In fact, on non-irrigated lands, Yerby says the difference can be as much as 100 bushels per acre.
Normally on our irrigated corn, we'll have yields anywhere 235, 250 average. But with the excess heat and the lack of these last two rains, we're starting to see some yield drag down into the 200s or lower. Our dryland corn generally cuts 175, 185 on average around here. We're seeing some down into the 140s, even down into the 120s in some spots. So the heat and the dry weather has really hurt.
Also hurting is the fact that all this corn won't get a great price. A downturn in the market that started this year has no signs of letting up while inputs remain high.
With the downturn in the markets this year, soybeans below 10, corn below 4, it's really making the financials really look ugly. It's really hard to plan, it's really hard to focus, and you have to watch every penny on every input. The inputs are going up steadily. The seed, fertilizer, technology, they're going up, and there's no sign of them ever coming down. But with the downturn in the markets, it's really made it more difficult. Coming off of a drought last year where you had a poor crop, and then downturn in the markets this year, you combine that with a bad yield, and there's going to be some people that just will not make it through another one.
Like many grain farmers, Yerby planted milo this year after last season's prolonged drought.
We had pretty much all of our eggs in one basket, per se. We had corn and we had a lot of soybeans. And when the drought came in, you didn't get the rains, the soybeans didn't produce. Whereas we chose to segue into milo a little bit. It's a hardier crop. It handles the drought well, and it's good for the crop rotation to add some organic matter back into the soil.
One bright spot is Yerby's bean crop, which has a lot of pods on the plants, as you can see here.
The soybean crop is looking pretty well right now. Again, we were a little late getting planted. We pushed planting, went all the way into June, which is generally later than we like to see. But like I said, we got these seasonal rains, and it kept them going. And we got the crop off to a good start. Naturally, some of our later planted beans are struggling a little bit, but you know, we definitely could use a rain right now.
Beans have been hurt a bit by the weather, and you can see a clear difference in irrigated versus non-irrigated bean plants. While the yields might be better, it's also costly at a time when beans are below $10 a bushel.
They need water right now to make a big, hearty bean instead of a little short, round BB. So that's why we're pumping water. And as we're pumping water out here, we're also pumping dollars out into this field. Every gallon of water we pump, it costs. We're burning diesel. We've got the cost of the pipe, cost of the well. Now hopefully the added production from the irrigation will pay off.
Corn is in the short rows here in Louisiana, but with temperatures above 100 degrees and corn prices below $4, many are wondering if this will be the last crop they bring in. Reporting from Colfax, Louisiana, I'm Neil Melancon.
The USDA is forecasting large U.S. crop yields and large planting for next year's South American crop. Leftover soybeans from this year are expected to exceed 500 million bushels.
Corn yields on Ryan Yerby's farm took a major hit just 2 days after Neil Melancon shot that story.
Well, when they say farming has its ups and downs, I think they were talking about the end of our 2024 corn crop.
Yerby says 60-plus mile-an-hour winds blew down about 300 acres of his corn crop. This was from a storm that blew in from the north late Sunday night into Monday morning. Yerby says his yields went from more than 200 bushels per acre to 60 bushels per acre. And he's not alone. Yerby says while he is still harvesting the corn that fell, some of his neighbors are not sending combines into those fields because the damage is just too great. Again, this happened at the end of the season when farmers had put their full investment of time, care, and money into the crop just to have Mother Nature destroy it.